All right, so the one thing before we start here, I'm going to kind of lay into this of a lot of us weren't able to be present during the 5th grade promotion ceremony. And so I'm going to read what I wrote, to the parents and families and students. So, ready? All right, so if you followed us on our Facebook page, Irving Star Falcon, you would see the hashtags consistently of Irving family, committed to excellence, and legacy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to define what those are, so everybody in this room understands. So hashtag family. You are and will always be a part of our Irving family. If you ever need anything, no matter how big or small, please reach out to us. We love you. Hashtag committed to excellence. We created goals, we challenged you and ourselves so you could prove to yourselves that the goals can be achieved through hard work and dedication. So how many of you reached your goals this year? Let's see this. Hands, come on. Hands. Oh, raise them and see them. Yeah, all right, a lot of us have. Hashtag legacy. I challenge you to ask this to your parents and or guardians. I want you to continue to ask this as you go to middle school, high school, the Waterloo Career Center, or to college. What do you want to accomplish? What do you want your legacy to be? Well, today, these two gentlemen I'm about to introduce are part of our legacy. And a lot of us don't have opportunity to see this, whether we're just starting out of our career or on the backside of it. But these two gentlemen, Mr. Orlando Vivians, Mr. Nate Ewell, were part of this Irving family. They were a part of the Community Excellence, and now they're part of our legacy. And so today, these two gentlemen are going to come up and speak about their legacy and their journeys, so we can all see why, moving into next year, we're going to focus heavy on what? Legacy. So please, give them a round of applause for Mr. Vivians and Mr. Ewell. So, real quick, Nate graduated from West this year. He's going to attend Grandview to play football. Mr. Vivians just decommitted. Yes. He's going to play football at St. Ambrose, but decommitted, and he's going to go run track at Hawkeye Community College. So, I sent him a few questions. So, first question is, at what moment did you know that a teacher believed in you?
Oh, I remember because it was 3rd grade. I was talking to you, Mrs. Z. It was 3rd grade. I had just got in trouble. I was fighting at recess over a basketball. And this is my 3rd time getting in trouble that week. And Mr. Z, he sat me down and he talked to me. He told me, he was like, you're going to be in my class in 5th grade. And I'm in 3rd grade, so, I'm bad. I ain't trying to hear that, whatever. 5th grade comes, I'm in his class. So, yeah, I knew he believed in me because he told me back then that he was going to change my attitude and show me the right way to go about things in school because I was getting into a bunch of trouble, believe me, a bunch of trouble.
For me, it's pretty much the same story. I was not a good kid growing up at all. I had anger issues, and I was getting in trouble here pretty much every day. And Mr. Z came to me and said, same thing he said to Orlando. He said I was going to be in his class in 5th grade. And I was like, no, I'm not. I'm going to move. I'm not going to your class. I'm going to tell you the same thing. I said I was going to move. I'm thinking I'm not going to be in your class, But 5th grade rolled around. I'm in his class, and that just changed me because I was, like I said, I was no good kid growing up. And all the way up to that point, I was in trouble with him every day. So at that point, when he told me way back when I was in 2nd, 3rd grade, whatever grade it was, that he told me that, that's how I knew he believed in me. So he kind of changed me for the better.
What was a day, positive or negative, that changed your life in school?
It's my first day of high school. And I remember being told about this, elementary school, middle school, that, it only gets harder as you progress on. And, I didn't really take it seriously as much as I probably should have. But, my first day of high school was a truly eye-opening experience because I wasn't ready for all of what came about. But I adjusted quickly because I had a lot of teachers in my previous years that prepared me for the challenge that high school was going to be. And now I'm graduated, so.
For me, it was actually here. It was here at this school. Like I said, I wasn't a good kid. One day I was in the office with all the administrators, My mom was there, principal was there, and we were just having a meeting. And my mom she was just crying, like she didn't know what to do because I kept getting in trouble. She didn't know how to take care of it. She didn't know how to come about it. But then I seen that, it made me feel horrible because I'm like, nobody wants to see their mom cry, especially because of me. And I'm just a little kid, I don't like seeing that. So that changed me, you know. And like I said, I played football, and I was told, I was like, if I kept getting in trouble, I wouldn't be able to play no more. So that whole day just changed me for the better though.
What personal barriers or obstacles did you have to overcome in school?
I was very immature, so yeah, I was very immature for a long time, probably until like my sophomore year. So I was always like a class clown type of guy, always crack jokes and stuff, always talking when the teacher was talking. So I had to really just understand that I'm about to be an adult, so I had to like take things seriously and understand that there's a bigger picture than just being the funniest guy in class, because that's not going to get you nowhere in life. So, yeah.
For me, it's pretty much the same thing. I was in classes with Orlando. He's my best friend. I've known him since we was down here. So in class, we cracking jokes, doing whatever, having fun in the lunchroom at recess. You know, just trying to act older than we are.
Acting a fool, man.
Acting somewhere we shouldn't be. So I had to get over that because like I said, like you gotta grow up one day, and I've had this talk multiple times. You gotta grow up, you gotta learn how to come from this level to this level. I was like, my mom was like, you're gonna be in middle school, and you're gonna be in high school, and you're gonna graduate. So which where I am now, and I'm pretty happy I got over that barrier of just being someone I'm not.
What do you wish your teacher would have known about you in school? And how would that have helped you?
Pretty much everyone knew everything about me at the time I was here, but everyone didn't know what was going on at home, I guess, you know. And that's because I know I got friends that grew up without their mom, without their dad. You know, that played a big factor in your life. Like no matter, like you might not notice that's what's playing a factor, but it is. And that kind of played a factor in my life because my dad was doing some things that he didn't really want around me, so he wasn't there. So it was just my mom, you know, my sisters, and like I said, she didn't know what to do. But everything's better now. But I feel like if teachers would have known that, they could have came with a different approach and things like that. So if you get to know your students, then you will build a better bond.
Yeah, I probably had to add on to that. What happens behind closed doors factors a lot into how a student acts at school. Because I've met plenty of students, because I actually, fun fact, I co-op in the counseling office, if you guys know what that is. So at West High, and like we see a lot of students that come in and they're struggling with things that are going on at home, and there's really nothing going on at school that's causing them to act this way. It's what's going on at home. Like these kids, some of these kids have to step up and be role models for their younger siblings or feed their siblings and stress themselves out and stuff like that. So sometimes school isn't their priority because they have bigger issues behind closed doors.
At this time, I'd like to open it up. Like, what are some questions that you just would like to know from their perspective? Because Orlando's brother's in Miss Hinesworth's class, and his niece is Dakaya in Mrs. Everman's room. So, I mean, they're still going to be connected to Irving. But what are some things that you want to ask from them? Like, what do you want? Yeah, go ahead, start.
So I'm curious, you said you struggled with behaviors in elementary school. So if we have students who are kind of going through similar situations, what would you recommend we do as a teacher?
Well, I feel like it depends on, you know, what they're good at, like what they like to do. Like I like to play football.
So
You know,
find their interests?
I like to go outside. I like to play. I didn't really, because I was a good student in the classroom. I was always doing my work fat, like before everyone else. That's why I had all the free time to goof around, and I was distracted other people. That's how I got in trouble. Like I had perfect attendance, everything like that. It just, you know, I would need something to do to stay busy. So I would just say to keep them busy, like with something they actually like to do. You know?
It breaks my heart a little bit to hear you say you were a bad kid. So in your defense, when you talk to yourself, remind yourself you were a kid navigating the world.
Right.
And that's like all our job in the whole world, your community, to support you and know that, you know, we're here to help you navigate, just like even as an adult, that you know, we've got those people in our corner.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you for
Thank you.
sharing your stories.
Yeah, if I'm being honest, I think we was just bad because we were bored. Sometimes we just got bored. That's kind of sometimes we just bad because we were bored.
Oh, they weren't bored in my room, trust me.
Oh yeah, no.
Watch yourself now. Okay. Any other questions?
I know you guys told us about like where you're going to college and sports might be your vehicle, but what's your area of study? What do you guys?
Oh, finance for sure. Finance.
I'm gonna
You
study.
work with your mom and dad
So I'm gonna study business because I want to start my own business. So
I like working with money.
You guys could still be in business together. Think about how.
Exactly.
Yeah.
you know. One of these days we'll team up.
They're not ready for that yet, though. Gotta wait a couple years. Who raised their hand first?
Do you ever look at your peers that are in high school that are struggling and be like a role model for them? Because I know it's kind of like that hard age of like, you know, it's not the cool thing to do. But do you ever like pull them aside and say, hey, you know, like I've been there, if you want to ever talk, like do you approach any of those students or friends?
Oh yeah, have to, because the way I see it is like this success is not the same without your friends. Like, I mean, success alone is always great, but when you're succeeding with your peers or your best friends and stuff like that, it's amazing. It's a wonderful feeling. It's a wonderful feeling. So when those guys are slacking or those girls are slacking, whoever, sometimes I'll speak up to them if I believe that it's a serious issue. Because I mean, that's just what you just gotta do.
Yeah, I try to do the same thing, like, cause I make money. I'm going to college. I can support myself. My family's good. Everybody's good. But like, if I see my friend that I've known since we was down here and he's not doing as good, I'm trying to help him as much as I can. You know, with anything it is. Cause like I said, you don't know what's going on at home. Most of the time I don't know, cause that's like my friends, my brother, whatever. Like I don't know, but as much help as you can get, you can feel like somebody in your corner. I'll try to help them at all times, no matter who it is, really.
Hi boys, I remember when you were like kindergarten and seeing growing up, I'm so impressed and proud of you of where you're at right now and where you're going, and I wish you the best.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Honestly, as another person who's been here forever, same thing. I have memories of you too, like somebody
Who's been around, really?
Yeah.
How many referrals during music? Just saying.
Oh,
Yeah, too many, you know.
a little too much. A little too much.
I still have it in my house too. I like a stack like this. Okay, I should have brought it.
My mom straight at mine, it was too much.
I should have brought it.
I had your niece this year, and she really looks up to you.
Yeah.
And she would tell us things like, "Oh, he keeps me in focus a lot." What is some advice that you would give to like her or her classmates that might be something we can like think about as teachers?
Just to keep them focused. Cause I know my niece, so get home, get right on her phone, or come bug me. But I'm like, hey, you gotta go read a book. 20 minutes, 30 minutes, you gotta go do something. I'm trying to keep them focused so she doesn't go down the path that I went down. Like I got here, I'm good and everything, but when I got here, it wasn't a smooth ride. You know, it was bumpy. You know, I don't want her to go do that. You know, cause she going through some things at home. She got her own problems, and I know, like I said, if I can help that now, I'm gonna help it now. While she's still down here. You know, so when she get up here, she'll have her head on straight and she'll be able to go wherever she wants to go. And with her friends, I know she FaceTimes with friends and everything. So I'm like, I just want them to stay. I want her to get a few friends, have them be tight like me and Orlando. I know him since I was down here. Like we tight as just like pretty much my brother at this point. And I just want her to have bonds like that and her to stay in the books and not like go anywhere else than that.
So when you talk about like your friends that you have that have kind of gone off track here and there, like what do you feel like made the difference for you to keep you headed in the right direction? Because like there were probably a lot of kids and you know the same as you in elementary that didn't end up on the same track as you now. Like where do you feel like, you know, what kept you on the right way?
My younger brothers, for sure. My younger brothers, because one thing about me, I'm big on family. So I know one thing, like me being the oldest in my family, I just made sure to make it a priority to be a good example for them. I mean, regardless of what they do, as long as I understand that I provided a good example and I didn't lead them in the wrong direction, that's what keeps me going every day. Like when, say, a workout gets hard at practice, or if a test is hard, or if a class is getting hard, if I'm struggling with anything, I just think about them too, because they're my world. So, you know.
With me, it's my parents, big part. My mom does not go for any of that. And my niece, like, I live right across the street, so she stays with me 5 days a week because her mom works early, so she comes here, so we take her to school because it just works better like that. So, and like she said, my niece looks up to me. I have 2 of them, so I can't get out of line or see them doing things that I don't want them to do, you know. And then, like him, my other friends, we all been playing football on the same team since we were down here. We always like, man, we gotta go to college and play football. Like it's everybody's dream. So it's like I'm not gonna get there if I'm, you know, slacking off, or if I'm not doing my work in school, or if I'm not making the right decisions. Because anything could be done like that, and get my scholarship pulled away like that, and I'm not going nowhere. So that's how I gotta keep myself in line.
One more question.
So knowing where you're at in life right now, what's one thing that you wish that you could go back and tell your younger elementary self?
Too many things. Too many. Stop acting a fool, man. I was so bad, man. That's all I think about. I was, dang. That's a good question.
I would say just stop trying to be someone you aren't. You know, I was a class clown, goofing off. I didn't need to do all that. Like I said, I was done with all my work. I could have just sat there and did a tic-tac-toe with somebody or something. Like, I didn't have to get in trouble and do everything that I did. That's what I would say.
Yeah, just behavior. I mean, and it's kind of hard. You're young. I mean, you want to just have fun all the time, but I mean, there's a time and place for that. I mean, that's why we have recess in elementary schools.
Well, I can say from our staff, thank you very much. We appreciated it. Very well articulate, and I hope we now understand what legacy looks like from Irving's perspective. So thank you.